Hello everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. I am Assistant Professor Padma Deshpande. Today I am going to cover a topic that is named Materials Management in your subject Production and Total Quality Management. This is SYBMS Semester 4 subject. So first let's try to understand what is materials. Material is anything. It can be raw material, it can be semi-finished goods, it can be work in progress. So materials management is concerned with the control of materials in such a way that the working capital gets a maximum return. See, material management has to be done in such a way. The raw material, the work in progress, the finished goods have to be managed in such a way that the money doesn't get blocked or the money is not getting wasted. Unnecessary wastage should be avoided. And this money is basically the working capital. So, the working capital money should not be wasted in unnecessary things, and for that, materials management is very important. Now, material, as I said, can be classified into 5 major categories. What are those? The first is the raw material. Raw material is required in the production and raw material gets converted into a finished or a semi-finished product. So, raw materials. Then purchased parts. Purchased parts are the add-on parts that are required, like when you want to stitch a cloth. So for the cloth, the raw material will be cotton and the purchased parts will be the thread, the buttons, all these things will be the purchased parts. Then the manufactured parts. Manufactured parts is basically the semi-finished goods that are, or the semi-finished products that are manufactured, which needs further processing. And then comes the work in progress. Work in progress means the semi-finished goods which are kept, which have to be processed further, like we want to do the packaging for that, or sometimes some things are created like when the during the Ganpati festival. So what they do is they make the Ganpati idols and keep it, and whenever the festival is going to approach, at that time they do the coloring and everything, so that that fresh look is there. So that is work in progress, means वो ढांचे में से निकाल कर वो ढांचे में डाला हुआ रहता है ना मूर्ति, उसको वो बनाकर रख देते हैं, एंड फिर जब वो फेस्टिवल आने वाला होता है तब उसको वो कलरिंग करते हैं. So that is called as work in progress. Then there are MROs. MROs is basically maintenance, whatever things are required for maintenance, repairs, operating supplies, like for the machineries to operate, it requires oil. Then there are certain machines are required, then certain spare parts are required, screws are required. So all those comes under the maintenance, repairs and operating supplies. The lubricating oils, all this comes under the MROs. So this can be either in this is purchased either in bulk quantity, sometimes it is cement banks. That is also an MRO, which is used, cement is used in the construction industry. So it can be bags, or it can be in bulk quantity, it is purchased. Sometimes it is collected in loose quantity and kept it in a box or something like that. So those are all the MRO supplies. So materials can be classified as 5 categories, that is raw materials, purchased parts, manufactured parts and work in progress, and the MRO. Now, why materials management is important? There are basically 2 objectives. the primary objective and the secondary objective. So the primary objective will be obviously when we buy something in large quantity, what happens is we can get the product or the raw material or the loose parts at a cheap rate. So getting the material at a low price, least possible price, is one of the primary objective. Then secondary objective, primary objective is that we want to keep our working capital at control. We don't want to do excess expenditure. So to keep a check on the working capital, to maintain low inventory, materials management becomes very important. Then when the goods are purchased in large quantity, they can be stored properly and they can be received at one time. The transportation cost can be brought down, because when you buy in bulk, what happens is we are saving cost, especially the transportation cost, the storage cost. So that cost we can reduce. So low cost acquisition and possession. And then because of proper materials management, there can be continuity in the production aspect. The production will be uninterrupted. There will be no stoppage due to shortage of material. So for that, materials management becomes very important. So continuity of supply. Then when we buy in a wholesale kind of thing, when we buy materials at a wholesale rate, we get price discounts also, and plus we get homogeneous products, that is the same type of products, and this can help us in maintaining the consistency of quality of the finished products. Then when we buy it from one particular supplier, what happens is we are able to keep a consistency from in the supply. We will be able to maintain good relations with the supplier. He knows that what kind of raw material or what kind of material your company requires. So every time he will ensure that he is sending you the same type of material. And material management also encourages that proper records are maintained. The primary objective of materials management is that how much of goods have been received, how they are stored, where they are stored, whether there is some insurance cost involved or not, then how much material has been put into production. All this record can be maintained properly. So these are the primary objectives of material management. Now let's see the secondary objectives. Secondary objectives means in this materials management, the company comes to know that which type of products are running more in the market, where new developments are required, whether we want to buy any new type of product or whether we have to go for new product design. Then the company can think about standardization, that is offering the products at the same as per the same standards. Then providing assistance to the production department. And materials management ensures that there is proper coordination. Everybody knows, the marketing department knows that how much production has taken place, how much materials we are having, how much of sales we have to target and we have to sell. The finance department is aware that this much of materials has been sold or this much of material is kept. So like this, it ensures that there is proper coordination among the departments. So this is the secondary objective of materials management. Now why materials management is important? Because it will help in controlling the cost, it will help in avoiding wastages, it will help in proper utilization of the equipments. There will be optimum utilization of all the resources. Your deliveries, that is your customer delivery, can be faster. The companies can avoid keeping overstock or less stock, and then there can be maximum return on investment, that is whatever money has been investment is received at the right time, and then we are able to avoid wastages, we are able to avoid pollution, we are able to avoid we can go for lesser recycling. So what will happen is we will be able to have a better sustainable environment. So this is why materials management is important. Now there are certain challenges or limitations in material management. The first challenge is obviously maintaining the continuous flow of material for production. So many times due to n number of problems, like the supplier doesn't give the raw materials, or he is not supplying the goods at the right time, or sometimes you had ordered for a particular quality of raw material or a specific quantity of material, but the actual received material is different from what you had ordered. Then many a times the vendors are not proper. Vendors are basically the suppliers. This happens when the company keeps on switching over the suppliers, or sometimes due to incorrect billing, or the proper planning has not been done, or unnecessary, or whatever scrap was there that was being scored off and that has not been recorded. Sometimes wrong shipping, the order was booked for somewhere else but it has gone to some other place, or you had ordered something different but you have received something else. Then many times production reports, whatever was generated, are wrong. So these are some of the problems that can lead to improper record keeping, and this may lead to not having the materials management, the materials management not being done in the proper way. So, and if the materials management is not done in the proper way, then what will happen is there will be a problem in forecasting. Forecasting means we are planning for the future, and many a times our capital investment may unnecessarily get blocked. So these are the major challenges if the materials management is not done in a proper way. So as a part of materials management, we now will try to understand inventory. Inventory is basically a very important aspect in the supply chain. Inventory means nothing but it is the stock. So stock of raw material, work in progress, finished goods, and it can be whatever is there for distribution. So why inventory is maintained? As I said, inventory is a part of materials management. So inventory is maintained for production, inventory is maintained for supporting the operations, inventory is maintained for delivery of customer service. Then inventory is maintained because in case of future emergencies or due to certain uncertainties, it has to be maintained at all levels. Now for very simple example, if I take the example of a retail shop means the grocery shop, the kirana shop that we have. Now in the kirana shop, what does the shopkeeper do? He keeps a inventory of all the goods that is required by the people or the citizens living in that locality. He comes to understand that people generally buy this products, so he tries to keep a stock of those products, and he will also keep a stock or inventory of those products which are required by people but which is not in that much quantity. So he will maintain a small quantity of that, like say for example rice, dal, wheat, all these things he will keep a more quantity because this is a regular thing. On the other hand, certain brand of biscuits or certain brand of pickles or certain brand of soaps, he will keep it in limited quantity because he knows that all the people will not buy these products. Some may buy, some may prefer some other brand of that product. So he will try to keep the different brands but in different quantities. So this is called as inventory or stock. Now inventory management means to keep a record of whatever inventory we are having. So inventory management starts right from the procurement of goods, then keeping it in the warehouse, and then using is as per requirement, and then inventory also involves the finished goods that goes in the market. So inventory management basically starts from procurement of goods and it ends with the supply of goods to the ultimate customers. So inventory management ensures receiving, counting, sorting, arrangements, storage and maintenance of all the items. So it can be raw materials, components, tools, everything that is required, that is acquired, that is stored and utilized, and then whenever it is utilized, that record also needs to be maintained. So all this comes under inventory management. So inventory management can be done either manually or through with the help of machines. There are certain softwares through which you can do the entry. Companies keep a record of the inventory, so they do the entries in the software, and as and when reports are required, the reports are generated. So the objective of inventory management is, obviously we want to maintain the cost, our cost, we want to we want that the capital, working capital should not get unnecessary blocked, there should not be unnecessary expenditures, we should not waste our resources, then there has to be proper stock with us, if proper stock is there, then delays can be avoided, output can be increased, and then this will help us to withstand in the market, we will be able to withstand the pressure in the market, and it will help us whenever we are having inventory. If one of our dealers asks for a quantity discount, we will be able to provide that. Even the retail shop, when he has large quantity, what he will do is, if one of the customer tells him that isme discount de do, so if the person is buying for more quantity, he will be able to give a discount because he is also having that much of stock with him. So these are some of the objectives of inventory management. In the next session, we will see what are the types of inventory management, and we will also be seeing what are the different materials that are used for inventory management as well as material management. Till then, we'll stay connected. Thank you.